All right, what's good, people? Pete from PFM FIT here for another day in the Swoley Church of Iron. You heard me right. That's what this gym is called, the Swoley Church of Iron. But we are not lifting today. We did that the past 2 days, and my muscles are very sore. So today, what we're going to be talking about is abs, core. How do you train abs? How do I train abs? How do you get abs? How do you get a strong core, a lean core, a muscular core, a core that pokes through your shirt and people can tell you have abs when you're wearing a nice tight-fitting shirt, or a core that is just very functional and allows you to be more mobile and more flexible and more capable of doing any kind of basic task in your everyday life for a long time until you're old. So yeah, the core is very essential. The core, the front core, just like your back core, your back muscles and whatnot, are involved in quite a lot of movement in your body. So therefore, it's very beneficial for you to strengthen and train those muscles. Also, more so what you care about is the fact that they are the most visually, aesthetically appealing muscles on the human body, I would say, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you got the biceps, you got some delts, you got the chest, the back's pretty good too, but we all started working out because we wanted the six-pack. Let's be real. So let's start with my first point here, which is, how did I originally train to get the six-pack when that was my first and only goal? Because what happens when you're a young prepubescent or pubescent hitting teen? You start becoming attracted to girls and or boys and or whatever you might be attracted to. But either way, you want to do whatever you can to increase your attractiveness to attract the attention of whatever person you are trying to attract and you are interested in. A lot of attraction going on. But either way, we all know abs are attractive. Whether you're trying to get the attention of girls, whether you're trying to get the attention of guys, doesn't really matter. Everyone respects a good core, and everyone loves looking at it, especially if they don't got it. So how did I used to train abs when that was my only goal? Well, I did what probably all of you have done, which is you go on YouTube, you look up beginner at-home ab workout, and that's what I did. I did one beginner at-home ab workout. I was sore for a week, and then I did another one. And then until the beginner ab workouts became too easy, I said, oh, let's do intermediate. Now let's do advanced. And then I just ended up doing these 10 and 15-minute routines every night before bed. And then eventually, I started basically making my own routines by taking the hardest exercise variations for each little follow-along workout I was watching at the time, and I made my own hardest ab routine. I didn't make a video on it, but I could, because I still have that routine saved in a note on my phone. I think it's a pretty good workout, but I don't love the whole concept of these 5, 10, 15-minute at-home ab workouts, because I only think they work a little bit. I don't think they work better than other strategies that I'm going to discuss, which is my current strategy that I've used to build my abs, while also weighing 30, 35 pounds heavier than what I used to in high school or in college. So, I'm clearly much more well, I guess you don't have the before and afters here, but I was very scrawny. I was not nearly as muscular and big as I am now, and I still am rocking a decent bit of aperture, even with this bigger frame. Either way, the 10-minute at-home ab workouts. Here's why I don't think they work for everybody. One, they are basically a mini cardio session because you're doing this 10-minute, 10-minute long with like 10-second rest between exercises, or just all in one go, super high intensity interval training, HIIT, whatever you want to call it. It basically just becomes a mini HIIT cardio session that gets your heart rate up more than anything. Like, yeah, you get a pump and a burn on your abs, but I don't think it's necessarily stimulating muscle growth per se, because this brings me to the second con, which is there's really not much overload you can do to at-home bodyweight ab exercises. So yes, you can plank for 30 seconds to 40 seconds to a minute and, throw some weight on your back. Well, that's overloading. But at a certain point, if you don't have weight and all you can do is add time, this workout is going to get really long really quickly, because your core is going to get really strong really quickly. So you're going to go from planking for 1 minute to 2 minutes to 5 minutes, and then before you know it, you're going to be spending all 8 hours over the time you're supposed to be sleeping planking, because you think that's what you need to do to increase your ab gains. Obviously, that's an exaggeration. You wouldn't do that, or you might. But either way, that's one of the main cons I have with those at-home routines, is that the progressive overload capability just isn't there for most of those movements. Now, doesn't mean these ab routines cannot work. And here's the conditions where I think it could work because it worked for me. I did get abs, though not the strongest and most aesthetic core. It was a visible six-pack and or four-pack nonetheless. And the strategy I used is, or the conditions that need to be met for this to work is, one, you're a high metabolism, scrawny young teenage boy and or girl, I guess. Probably doesn't matter either way. Two, you play rigorous amounts of cardiovascularly intensive sports like soccer or hockey or basketball or any sport where you are running or exercising for 2-3 hours a day, several times a week. And did I mention high metabolism and being a young kid already who's scrawny? Oh, yeah, the scrawny part. Not only did I have high metabolism, not only did I play sports 2-3 hours a day, soccer, hockey, whatever, sometimes double sessions, 4 hours a day, and not only was I already scrawny to begin with, so that's the perfect storm that came together to make these at-home mini HIIT ab workouts work for me. Because I was already scrawny, was already super lean, already had a high metabolism, so all I did was add a minimal amount of ab muscle on top of an already lean stomach. So that's why I think that doesn't work for everybody, because let's say you're, Joe 250-pound lineman on the high school football team, and, wow, that's impressive. You're 250 pounds in high school. But it's probably not all muscle. It's probably a little fluff and excess stuff somewhere, which means you doing these at-home ab workouts probably won't get you the desired results because you just have too much extra body fat right now to make it worth it, because the low muscle building potential of these high-intensity workouts is not going to build visible enough abs to show over what extra excess fat you have if you are not already lean, scrawny, or high metabolism prepubescent teen. You know what I mean? So that's the why I think these are not the best for everybody, because it might not work for everybody. Here's where I think my current ab training routine could potentially work for everybody. But there also is some conditions as well, because now that we are more educated, more enlightened lifters than we were when we were young, naive teens, I am now 23. I don't know everything by any means, but I certainly know much more than I did when I was seeing a personal trainer once a week, because I didn't know anything. So we've come a long way. But there's still much more to learn. But what I know now is much more than what I knew then. What I know now is that you need to progressive overload your abs, just like any other muscle. The abs are a muscle, people. They are no different than anything else. The bicep, the chest, the traps, the calves. Though the most similar muscle I would say that they are akin to is, they probably are closest to, like, I don't know. What are the abs? The abs are kind of unique, honestly. Like, if anything, they're close to, like, nothing. They're the abs. They're their own thing. They are not close to anything. There is only one torso, so I don't know. We don't have a comparison for that. But anyways, here's how I train abs nowadays. Basically, what I was doing was my 10-minute ab routines before bed. Did that for a few years, got the results. Once I got the results, I stopped doing it. Then I started throwing that 10-minute ab routine. Once I built this home gym, I would just do my regular hour, 2-hour workout, and then shoot a 10-minute ab routine after that. Okay, you're not doing it before bed, sure, but you're still getting that ab training in. And then I evolved again. This is where I've made more ab gains at a higher weight, higher musculature, higher body fat percentage than I ever have in my entire life. I basically just started doing overloadable ab movements, and now that I'm saying this out loud, it doesn't even sound revolutionary, but maybe you need to hear it. I basically started doing ab movements that you could overload, aka add weight to and get stronger at, and I started doing one ab movement per workout. So if you do, you work out 3, 4, 5 times a week, take out one of your little accessory movements, or one smaller muscle group that's already a strong point for you and doesn't need the extra work, whatever. It might be some front delt raises, might be some traps, might be whatever your strong point is. Do a little less strong point, throw in one ab exercise that day, and then throughout the week, think of it this way. If you hit one ab exercise over 4 workouts for 2 to 4 sets, that is at least fucking 8, if not 12 fucking sets of abs, or 16 sets per week, That's an immense amount of volume. I usually do about 3 sets, and I usually do about 3 or 4 exercises per week for abs. So that's about 9 to 12 sets. That's a lot of volume. I don't do it in one workout. I don't say, oh, well, I got my one ab, calf, and forearm day. No, that would be miserable. I could not even imagine going to the gym and taking pre-workout, getting all hyped up, just to hit all the small things: abs, traps, calves, and forearms. Like, that'd be miserable. We're not gonna do that. But instead, it's very manageable to hit abs one time per session. Take out one accessory, throw it in there. The pros to this, and let me consult my note sheet that I made right before I made this video here. So pros to this, obviously, is the frequency and the ability to overload. But another pro is the fact that you get to recover as well. So instead of training abs every day, every night before bed or first thing in the morning, you're training them every day to every other day with those rest days in between, which is nice. Plus, you're overloading the muscle, which builds it up stronger and better than before. So even at the very least, if you don't get a visible six-pack, you'll have a strong-ass core. So that doesn't suck either, you know? It's like having a 400-pound bench press and you don't have striations on your chest. Well, it doesn't matter. You can bench 400. Do you need the striations? Yeah, it'd be nice, but you can still bench 400. So, you got a strong chest, Anyways, second pro, or no, the cons to this actually. Con is, you may have less room during your workout to hit other accessories, but that's one of my main suggestions, to take out something that's a strong point. If your upper back is already a huge strong point, then on back day, take out a little upper back work, hang from the pull-up bar, do some hanging ab raises. I love doing hanging exercises, like hanging from a pull-up bar and doing hanging ab exercises on back day, so I can stretch with the lats even more. It's just a cheat code, but we'll talk about ab exercises in a minute. Anyways, that's the main con I have. It's one of the only cons I could think of, for training abs once per workout, which is one exercise, two exercises maybe at most, is the fact that it's just going to take a little bit extra, a few sets away from something else in your training. And the other thing that I hear often is the people who would advocate against this are the people who just say, oh, well, I just tense my core every set. Every set I do, every set of bicep curls, every set of, overhead press, I'm squeezing my core the whole time. Okay, thank you. That's called, being a human being. You're supposed to tense your core and brace yourself as you lift heavy weights or do physically strenuous activities. That's not new, but does that build you a six-pack? No, unless you're on gear, because those are the only people I hear saying, hey, you don't need to train abs, you just need to tense your core while you hit sets, is fucking people who are absolutely blasting 10 grams of testosterone a freaking day. So we don't need to listen to those people, because they would have got abs sitting on the couch doing nothing but eating freaking, Little Debbie's all day. They would have got abs regardless with the gear. So don't listen to that shit. That shit is bullshit. Abs are a muscle. They need to be trained. Like, in what world would you say, I don't hit my biceps, man. I just do back work and my biceps get big. Okay, maybe they'll get big as a side effect, but not intentionally. Like, you might have big arms, but they're not defined. They probably can only curl, a minimal amount because you don't train the curl. Like, it doesn't relate. You didn't stretch the bicep out. You didn't lengthen the muscle. You didn't isolate it. Same goes for the core. Yeah, you can tense your core while you're squatting and deadlifting, and you might get a stronger core for squatting and deadlifting specifically, but anything outside of that, when you need to stretch your abs or tense your core or flex or do any kind of crunch, or God forbid you need to do a sit-up, and because you fall on the ground after a leg day and your legs gave out, you'll be screwed. You'll have nothing. You've never lengthened the muscle, stretched the muscle, put it through load under these stretched and lengthened positions. So your core is, yes, it's strong in the braced position, but other than that, it's useless. So this is why you need to actually train your abs. Don't listen to people who say, oh, just tense your core, this and that. That's bullshit. And this is also why I think you should train your abs the way I'm doing it, because I've gotten better results than I've ever gotten. I'm not the leanest guy by any means, but I'm also not, hey, I'm a powerlifter, hey, I'm a bodybuilder, hey, I'm one thing or the other. No, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm in the gray. So yes, I want a strong core, but I also want to be able to see my core sometimes. So we got a moderately aesthetic six-pack. I'm not cutting down to, sub 10% body fat here. We're probably somewhere between 15 to 20% if I had to guess. But hey, I'm fine with that. I can see it, and when I get a pump, it looks great. So that's all we're good with. Now, let's talk about my last point here, which is the kitchen. What role and what impact and what would be the ratio, would I say, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 of training abs to having your diet on point? What is the ratio that I think? I think you need both, certainly. Ratio in terms of percentage, I'd say 60-40, and the 60 is time spent training abs in the gym. And here's why. If you have a perfect diet and you use that diet to lean down and shave off extra body fat, that's great. But dieting alone does not build muscle, which means if you do remove all the fat around your stomach, what will be left is a very unimpressive, flat, non-muscular flat pack, let's call it. I'm not going to call it a six-pack. You may have some ripples of a six-pack there, but if you compared the core strength of someone like me to someone like just the person who dieted to get their six-pack, it would be a vastly different athletic performance capability output. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Yes, you could lean out in the gym, or in the kitchen, I mean, and have a perfect diet, eat only the chicken breast, chicken, broccoli, rice, all that stuff, and be natural and be clean, eat healthy, and do your cardio and all this stuff. But if you don't build muscle on these abs, once you get that reveal, once your body fat becomes low enough that you can actually see the abs, they're not going to be as impressive. That's all I'm saying. So in terms of diet to, in terms of the ratio to training in the gym, actually training your core, training your abs to get stronger and stretching them and to get, and to overload them and to train them through different movements and to hit all the different muscles. You got the upper, middle, lower. I think you can hit those all at the same time, mostly, most movements. Sometimes it's mostly just upper middle, sometimes it's lower middle, and then side obliques. Can't forget side obliques. But the point is that if you're not training these things, if you're not building muscle, if you're not getting stronger muscles on your core to layer on more muscle, break down the tissue, rebuild it stronger, when you get that reveal, when you go through, the misery, the suffering, the discipline, the willpower, when you go through all that with the diet and you start cleaning things up and you start making those right choices, you're going to want the best results. You don't want a shitty looking six-pack. Why did you do all that work dieting, restricting your calories, starving yourself, whatever you did to diet, whatever diet you followed? I'm not a big nutrition guy, so I'm not going to tell you how to eat clean. I'm not the best at it myself. But the point is rather than having a mediocre six-pack that you starved yourself to get, why not build muscle on your six-pack just like you would on your biceps, just like you would on your chest, any other muscle? Build muscle there so that you'll not only you have a stronger core, more functional core, but when you fucking get lean enough to see that six-pack, it'll look damn good. You'll have freaking, I don't even want to say the word, but you'll have fucking cum gutters, dude. Awful word. Awful terminology. Disgusting. I can't believe I just said it, but it does describe the abs pretty good, Just laid out gutters, the shadowing, the shading. Let me find the perfect natty lighting. Oh yeah, right there. Boom. Ba-ba-bam. See? Either way, I would say, let's summarize this and then I'll outro this video here. I would say it's 60% gym, 40% diet. But if you're 100% diet or 80% diet, 20% gym, when you get down to that lean enough body fat percentage, I don't think you'll appreciate your results as much compared to if you were training your core, building a stronger core. And similarly, if you're doing the at-home ab routine method, I don't think that'll be the best approach for you compared to picking, 2 to 4 ab exercises and adding them into your regular gym workouts throughout the week and overloading them. I don't think it'll be superior to that. And in fact, I think it'll offer subpar results compared to training abs 2 to 4 times a week in your regular gym sessions with overload. So, before we outro though, let me talk about my favorite ab exercises actually, because that's what I do want to talk about. Not only do I hit every part of the abs, I love to hit I love to hit ab exercises that hit either the whole face or one specific spot. So let's say I do a hanging ab raise. That's mostly going to hit the lower abs, okay? But let's say I do like a dragon lever, which I just learned about yesterday. That's mostly upper abs, because my upper abs are still sore from doing it. But then you do an exercise like an ab wheel rollout. That is 100% the entire face of the abs. You cannot tell me otherwise. So think about it this way. Think about your abs. If you want to do 4 days a week, do one part of the ab per day. Do 1 day for lower ab, 1 day for upper ab, 1 day for side obliques, and 1 day for the whole face of the abs. That could look like One day you do hanging ab raises, classic, one of my favorite ab exercises. One day you do dragon levers or some kind of eccentric resistance ab movement where you're lowering down slowly from the movement to hit the upper core to use it on its downward effect. And then the next day you could do ab wheel and hit the whole face of the abs and just obliterate it. And the next day you do cable ab twists or Russian twist with a med ball or something to hit the side obliques. And then throughout the week you've hit every part of the abs, as if you broke up your chest, or not even chest day. Chest doesn't even have that many muscle groups. But it's like your back day. Like if you hit several parts of the back muscle, if you went, okay, Monday we're going to do lower back, Tuesday we're going to do the mid back, Thursday we're going to focus on the lats, and then friggin' Friday we're going to do just traps. Like, think of it that way. This musculature, the abs, have several different zones. Doesn't mean you hit them all at once. And I think it's better if you hit them each one separately on a different day. You get more time to recover, and you're adding more total volume throughout the week without having this immense, I can't breathe, I can't crunch out of bed soreness, because we all know what sore abs feel like. It sucks. But either way, let me talk about my favorite exercises. My favorite ab exercise, by far, is the ab wheel rollout. For hitting the whole ab, I love to just spam out ab wheel. I don't really know a great way to overload it, but for whatever reason, just doing about like 15, sometimes 20 if I'm able, slow, controlled, paused, long stretched reps. Doing those on the ab wheel annihilates my abs all the time. So hopefully I never get stronger at that exercise, so I never have to overload it. I'm just kidding. Obviously I want to get stronger at it, but eventually I'll be sad when I get so strong that stops becoming a useful exercise for me. I'll be sad. I'll have to find something new. But for now, it works plenty. That's my favorite ab exercise, the ab wheel rollout. Second favorite ab exercise, probably cable oblique twists. So you grab a cable machine from your functional trainer, and you grab the cable, and you basically twist against it, squeezing with the side core muscles you have over here. And I mean, I can't say I'm doing it for the aesthetics, because I don't really care about side oblique aesthetics, although I do got some nice rib cage showing over here, because it's kind of lean. But I was just learning I was trying to do some research on how to be more athletic, use your gym training to increase athleticism when I was a college soccer athlete back in the day. And this exercise was a very functional core movement that was designed to help you as an athlete be more mobile, be more flexible, be more, springy and useful on the field. So I started doing it, and I just kind of fell in love with it. I mean, there's not many oblique exercises you can do besides this and Russian twists. It's a little bit of a complex muscle to hit, so you're pretty much kind of stuck between those two. But Russian twists are good too if you want to try those. Anyways, another exercise I really love for abs is pretty much any variation of a hanging ab raise. And I also love to throw these on back day specifically because, one, I've probably already hit my lats or some kind of back muscles, so hanging from a pull-up bar just feels great, stretches out my lats. Two, it's actually made me better at pull-ups because hanging from a bar has increased my grip gains, which I'm thinking was my weak point on pull-ups because it wasn't my back muscles that gave out, it's I couldn't hang on to the bar long enough to finish my set. So just by doing these sets of abs, where I'm just hanging from the bar and doing some work on my core, raising my legs, my grip gains got stronger, and thus my pull-ups got better too, which, if you're already good at pull-ups, sure, this might not benefit you much, but still, it means you'll probably already be pretty good. That won't be a problem for you. You can just hang and then start isolating the abs even easier. So that's one of my favorite exercises, especially to throw it on the back day. And this is how you can program people. You can set it up so that the mixture and concoction of ab exercises you use complements whatever split you use. Also, I do not usually train core on the same day that I train legs. I just don't. That's, think about your split that way. Like if you have a leg day, I would say, okay, you can be allowed to not hit core that day because a lot of core exercises use leg flexion. Like if I'm doing a hanging ab raise, I'm using a lot of hip and quad and lower back and stuff. On leg day, just don't have the extra energy to expend on that. The legs are already too tired from doing what they got to do, which is move heavy ass weight. So we can't typically isolate the core very well on leg day, but that's okay. Either way, those are my top 4 ab exercises essentially, which is ab wheel rollout, cable ab twist for the obliques, hanging ab raise, and dragon levers. which is kind of a new, low-key recent favorite of mine that I've only done a few times, but it's grown on me very quickly, I gotta say. So yeah. Anyways, though, this is how I train my core, people. This is how I've gotten the definition I've gotten so far, and this is basically just about. I've basically been utilizing this ab training ideology for about a year now. So this is 1 year of results, and I'm kind of on the tail end of my summer cut season. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think. I don't know. You think this is an impressive enough core to tell you about my ab training? I mean, obviously it's not the most shredded core out there, but compared to how I was looking last winter, peak bulk season, this is peeled to the bone compared to the fluffy melted ice cream belly I had when I was weighing about 220 pounds on the chicken nugget diet. But fuck, I could bench 275. So, damn, I might have to go back on the chicken nugget diet so I can hit 315. But, anyways, that's part of the learning process too, is getting smarter and learning how to do a clean bulk. That's what I would need to do this winter. But we are still in summer season, so right now we're enjoying the bodybuilding type gains. And enjoying looking pretty damn peeled when we get a pump. So, yeah, but I just want to make this video because it's how I've been training abs. I think it worked for me better than the at-home 10-minute ab routines I used to do, and I hopefully it can work for you too. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and follow the channel, check out my other videos. But, yeah, I'm going to outro it there. It's been your boy Pete from PFM FIT. Peace. See you, everybody.